Okay. Sorry. Welcome to the show. As always, every time we have to get started with the COVID-19 situation because as always, no one knows about COVID-19 better than the media and the news. Hang on a sec. There we go. So let's look at the cases right now. State cases. 1 new case. 18 new cases from health district reporting. We now are up to 21,206 cases. New cases are 6. That's 16,000. So that's 37,000. 37,000 for 439. 37,409. 2 new deaths total, and hospitalized 2019. Currently in the hospital 2927. Currently in the hospital 60. ICU 21. Recovered 2083. This is today's case. These are the statistics as of today. And as of today, I have to tell you this every time. These are very, 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 very important. I know it's a tough time to wear a mask all day and stuff because of everything, but this is what, if you work at somewhere and they require you wear a mask, then you have to wear a mask. There is no but. If you have a medical condition, that's fine, but you have to follow the safety and you gotta follow the protocols that are put in place. Social distancing, yes. There is social distancing out there, and no one even understands what social distancing means. It just means staying 6 feet apart. No one even understands the lines. And even especially, nobody here understands about safety. I have to wear a mask for my protection. You should too. That's why there's plenty of people out there being affected by it. That's why the virus is spreading, because no one decides to wear a mask. If you're outdoors but don't wear it more than 8 hours, because you could get a... I don't know when I remember. But I've heard it from Inside Edition. But what about for Halloween? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in just a moment. But still, it doesn't matter whether or not you're wearing a mask. It is for your protection only. If stores mandate you have to wear a mask, you have to wear a mask. No mask, no entry. That goes for all stores and for all employees. If you don't have a mask, then they'll supply your mask. If they're out of mask, then that's your problem. That's not my problem. That's not the employee. That's not the workplace's problem. That's your problem because you forgot to wear a mask. Well, it could be the workplace's problem because you forgot to mandate to supply masks. And seriously, we have to protect ourselves. If we don't protect ourselves, from this thing, then we're not going to get back to our normal lives. As such, but there is a possibility of a COVID-19 vaccine. But we don't know if it's going to still be put in place. It could be put in place in next year. So what's to do about the situation until the vaccine comes? Like I always tell you guys, you need to start wearing masks every day when you're going shopping or if you're with a friend. Including at sporting events. Football, baseball, basketball. baseball, basketball, football, tennis. Masks are required. Period. If you have a medical condition to where you cannot wear a mask, you need to let them know, and if they allow you in, that's fine. If they don't, and you come in without a mask, you could be charged with trespassing. I don't know if that can happen, but all schools need to be doing this. It's not my call. Alright, we're going to take a break. Next, a bit later on, we're going to talk about why Texas A&M University in Corpus Christi is not having any spring breaks because of this COVID-19. And also why it's canceled. Next, election time is just weeks away. And next, what about Halloween? How can you protect yourself when? How can your child protect yourself when it's Halloween and they don't have masks? We'll show you when we return. Halloween's just 4 days away, and with everything that's going on around here, with COVID-19 and stuff, how can you stay safe? How can your children stay safe if they want to go trick-or-treating? Well, I don't think there's going to be any trick-or-treaters out there because of COVID, but we don't know what's going to happen until something happens. So what can parenting know? And what your child should know? But the levels of COVID-19 are rising up as we speak. If you're going to celebrate, you must host like outdoor activities. So what I recommend is just wear your costume and wear a face mask. Don't wear a mask that hides right in it. Just wear a face mask. It's like, I want to be Spider-Man for Halloween. Well, yes, I understand like you want to be Spider-Man for Halloween, but there are problems out there. And most importantly, avoid large gatherings. Keep the distance up to 6 feet. Wearing a cloth face coverings and washing hands very, very often. Celebrating movie night, dress your favorite characters. Do this as a family at home while video chatting. Halloween themed treats. What if there's any trick or treating in your community? Trick-or-treating may be discouraged or canceled in some areas this year. Family scavenger hunt in your home can be a fun alternative. Trick-or-treating still in your neighborhood. Avoid large groups clustering everywhere. And wash hands often. And also remember, it's a chance for you and your children to get creative, maybe even introduce some new traditions to your family. It's also a great opportunity to model flexibility and positive spirit. If you're excited and make it fun, your kids will have fun too. Give out individual treat bags, and if your child collects treats, wipe them down and let them sit a couple days before opening. Use a cloth face cover as part of a costume. Think superhero. Do not paint them, though paints may contain toxins, like lead. And you're thinking to yourself, well, where can I find a Spider-Man face mask? I would think you have to find one on the internet before Halloween starts. But here are some tips. Plan costumes that are bright and effective. Consider adding reflective tape or striping the costumes and trick-or-treat bags for greater visibility. Make sure that shoes fit well, and that costumes are short enough to prevent tripping, entanglement, or contact with flame. Look for flame resistant on the costume labels. Wigs and accessories should also clearly indicate this. Consider non-toxic makeup and decorative hats as safe alternatives to masks. Hats should fit appropriately, prevent them from sliding over the eyes. Makeup should be tested ahead of time on a small patch in child's skin to ensure there's no unpleasant surprise allergic reactions midday. Toxic ingredients may be found in cosmetics marketed to teens and tweens. Avoid any sharp or long swords, canes, or sticks as a costume. The child will easily be hurt by accessories if or she stumbles or trips. Do not use decorative contact lenses without eye examination and prescription for an eye care professional. And always have a Plan B costume. So, basically what I would say is for pumpkins, consider a flashlight or glow stick instead of a candle. Do not place candlelit pumpkins on a porch or a path if visitors make it close by, because it should never be left unattended. Period. And for trick-or-treaters, if it still happens, remove tripping hazards to keep your home safe for visiting trick-or-treaters. Check outdoor lights to replace out burnt bulbs. Sweep wet leaves from sidewalks and steps, and restrain your pets so they don't inadvertently jump on or bite a trick-or-treater. Only go to homes with porch lights. Never enter a home or car for a treat. Notify law enforcement authorities immediately enter anything special in lawful activity. Teach your children how to call 911. Always accompany your children in the neighborhood routes. Always. Highest risk groups of children. So yeah, basically, if you're going to go trick-or-treating, you have to be socially distanced and practice safe distancing. Your child cannot wear a mask because of medical condition, then two options. They have to practice social distancing or not go trick-or-treating at all. As parents, you need to come up with a plan. Practice it. Because Halloween's going to come in a few days, And if you don't have if you gotta have a backup plan just in case. If you don't have a backup plan, well, I don't know. Maybe have a family movie night. Maybe have family time. Maybe eat pumpkins. Let me tell you something. A pumpkin is a very, very good vegetable. It's full of vitamins. Trust me. I've had a piece of pumpkin before. You can make pumpkin soup. You could do mashed pumpkin, mix it with potato. You can do pumpkin tempura. You can do all kinds of things with pumpkin. I recommend you get a medium to small sized pumpkins. That's the one I would go for. Blanch it, just like broccoli, until it's fork tender. It's a simple vegetable full of vitamins. It always helps. Well, next, it's all about spring break. We're gonna explain to you why Texas A&M University Corpus Christi is not doing spring break this year when we come back. Look, you guys, I understand that look, for the college people out there, I understand that you guys want to do your spring break at the beaches, but that's not going to happen. Texas A&M Kansville decided to cancel spring break altogether. The president CEO wrote, "Unfortunately, we must join universities around the county limiting spring break in 2021. It's a difficult choice, but one that is the best interest in our entire community." The reason why is because of COVID. Now, y'all might get angry and saying, "No, I want to go to the beach. I want to do this. I want to do some fun stuff for spring break." I understand that. But there is safety involved, and I understand like you want to go parties and stuff, but there is a crisis out there, and you have to follow what your state governor says. I mean, and there's other colleges. Texas A&M College Station, they limited spring break to March 19th. Texas Tech, 1 day spring break. I understand you guys, Kingsborough, are like throwing your temperature, and it's like, but it's what your state president wants, what your university president wants. There is no arguing back and forth. There is no protesting here. You know it's your First Amendment right. But there is COVID out there, and there are safeties that we have to understand. We can't go to a lot of parties because of the outbreak. Avoid them altogether and practice social distancing. You can't have more than 10 people out there, otherwise you're going to contract COVID. And all colleges, universities, all schools, they're watching the numbers. And if it gets too high, they're going to have to come up, all schools are going to have to come up with hybrid learning and or decide to shut down colleges and go back to in-person learning. That's basically just that. And if you don't like it, well, you might as well just drop out of college and say, if you're not going to do spring break, I might as well drop out of college. I'm telling you, I never went to college for any reason because I didn't feel like leaving my family was just not enough. I mean, I wanted to be damn near closer to home. That was my choice. Coming up, in a few days it's gonna be election day. I mean, in just days away we're from election day. We're gonna tell you where you can vote and how to be safe from voting when we return. Welcome back. As election time comes, we need to make sure that we're all safe when it comes to voting. So how can you stay safe? There's also other ways to consider voting, like in the mail. A lot of times you can vote in the mail, but that's not always the only option. There has to be like another option, like voting online. You can like actually vote online, but your voting rights may be taken away because you were on guardianship. For that matter. Request them. Here's some things. Here's some tips. You can request a mail-in or absentee ballot. You can also vote early and in person. Stay safe at the polls on election day. And per CDC's guidelines, you must wash your hands before entering the location. Wear a mask. Continue social distance about 6 feet, about 2 arms length measures from others. Cover coughs, sneezes with a tissue or inside of an elbow. Use alcohol-based hand sanitizer containing at least 6% of alcohol. Frequently, especially after touch surfaces, frequently touched by multiple people or door handles of voting machines. Other potential issues at the polls. Voters and poll workers are practically practicing CDC guidelines to make sure. So these are the guidelines. If you would like to learn more about these guidelines, we'll have some on our website. That is jcarm67.wixsite.com/givemeabreak. And on Give Me a Break Tuesday, we're going to talk about, and come up with Give Me a Break Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Well, Wednesday. Come up with Give Me a Break Wednesday. Actually, yeah, Tuesday. Come out and Give Me a Break Tuesday, which is tomorrow. I'm going to tell you about weapons and bring weapons to school. I'm going to tell you why people should not bring weapons to school, and I'm also going to tell you what is a weapon and what's not a weapon. Like this, for instance, a screwdriver. It's not a weapon. We're going to look at the school board's zero tolerance policy for weapons, which in this case, anything that can be used as a weapon is a weapon. That's tomorrow. And that's Give Me a Break for this Monday. We'll see you again tomorrow for Give Me a Break Tuesday. And for all of us here at YouTube, have a great night.